Jeffrey Epstein wasn't blackmailing anyone. I don't think he committed suicide, but I don't think he had a hit on him. He wasn't killed to silence him. The idea is ludicrous.
So you think he did not die by suicide, given all the things we just talked about?
I do not believe he died by suicide, no.
And do you believe that, do you have any speculation or view of who killed him?
No, I don't.
And I ask that because if you don't believe that there's any truth to the allegations of blackmail or that he had kind of a list or that he had reasons to have people hate him, why would somebody kill him in prison?
Well, in prison, where I am, they will kill you, or they will pay, somebody can pay a prisoner to kill you for $25 worth of commissary is about the going rate for a hit with a lock today.
So that goes to the third reason, which is kind of the mismanagement
Yes.
or the shortfallings or shortcomings of the Bureau of Prisons.
Yes.
Which is a little bit different than my question is, which is, do you think there's somebody on the outside of prison? So putting aside what could happen on the inside, on the outside of prison, who wanted him dead so badly that he would have, or she would have, caused him to be killed on the inside?
I think I don't see that. I think, is it possible? Of course it's possible, but I don't know of any reason why, and I don't believe in the blackmail or in any of this. I don't think Epstein had a hit on like that. If it is indeed murder, I believe it was an internal situation.
Yeah, so you don't have any reason, first-hand knowledge, or even speculation, it sounds like, to think that that he was killed to kind of silence him or to keep him from going public about people he knew about.
I don't. No, because I think that is just part of the story that's been created that started back in 2008-9.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's the point. Like, I don't think there's value in talking. There's been a lot of information about what happened, in the MCC, but what is important to me is whether, if is the idea that he didn't die by suicide. That's one thing, but if to the extent that folks believe that he was murdered to keep him quiet or because he had information on rich and powerful people, do you have any reason to believe that that's true?
I do not. I have any reason to believe that, and I also think it's ludicrous, because I also happen to think if that is what they wanted, they would have had plenty of opportunity when he wasn't in jail. Yeah. And if they were worried about blackmail or anything from him, he would have been a very easy target.
I mean, it is just totally insane when you know about Epstein and all the angles and all the facts, that this woman convicted of all this is sitting there saying this, and that the DOJ thought it was good to go have her say all this and release.
Color. It was a detail that was meant to communicate to me it was a murder and indicate to me the seriousness of the people behind it. Well, I guess it's too late. It was the Epstein crime scene, and the guards. I was told that the guards, who fell asleep in the fell asleep, and we all assumed they were bribed. Yeah, we all thought that. Well, guess what? They did fall asleep. Their blood was tested the next morning, and they found traces of nitrous oxide. So what's that tell you, Ann?
Wow.
Nitrous oxide is laughing gas, but doctors use it. Laughing
Right,
gas.
dentists use it. Dentists use it, right.
So that tells us that somebody snuck into a federal facility, a canister of laughing gas. They got access to the ventilation system. They snaked a hose to the right room, turned it on, knocked out the guards. Then they knocked out 14 cameras on that floor. Probably there's a goon cop a dirty cop who was in a cell down the block. He was probably the guy who did it. This was not confirmed to me, but he was let in. His door was open. He went and killed Epstein, and then they went back to his cell. And then they retrieved the hose. Someone retrieved the hose and exfilled, took out the canister of laughing gas. Now that tells us something. Does that sound like a Gambino hit, or does that sound like maybe a state level actor?
State level for sure. Absolutely.
Which
Mossad
state?
or...
There were no cameras inside Epstein's homes. He never recorded anyone. There were only cameras on the exterior doors.
When I asked why they recorded everything all the time, I said, is Wexner really paranoid? And he said, yeah, Epstein said, yeah, that's one way of saying it. He keeps everything. He records it all. He said, I record everything, and I keep it for Wexner in the safe. So the first house I go to has pinhole cameras. Jeffrey's showing me. He's really proud of them. Second house I go to has pinhole cameras. He says, Wexner gave me this house for $1. Wexner gave me this for $1. Then I go to the apartment. They had pinhole cameras in the Victoria's Secret dressing room. And just to fast forward, when I was in Wexner's house, there were cameras there were pinhole cameras throughout that thing. And Jeffrey again is like, oh, look at all the pinhole cameras. And Ghislaine says, you need to be careful. We can see everything. When I would go to the restroom or take a shower or anything, Ghislaine would call me, and from the speaker, and this is in New York, sometimes in London, in different places, she would say, get out of the loo, get off the toilet. She would start screaming at me.
I never ever saw any man doing something inappropriate with a woman of any age. I did introduce Epstein to women, but not underage women. Former President Bill Clinton never went to Epstein Island.
Thank you for watching my video. Please visit my website at samstwitch.com. My X profile is at x.com/samstwitch_Sam. My YouTube channel is at youtube.com/samstwitch. I post videos that I cannot post on YouTube on my BitChute channel, at bitchute.com/samstwitch.